My nanny cam caught someone walking through my house. The doors were locked. It started with a light, a soft, flickering white glow that danced across my hallway in the dead of night. I wasn't awake to see it the first time. The nanny cam was. Installed for peace of mind after I moved into this old creaking house with my 2-year-old daughter, June. It faced her nursery, mostly, but it had just enough range to catch part of the hallway behind it. That night, when I checked the cloud footage, something felt wrong. At exactly 2:38 a.m., the video glitches, just for a second, and when the static clears, there's someone walking past June's room, not rushing, not sneaking, just calmly walking. They weren't visible long, maybe 2 seconds, but it was long enough to make my stomach twist. June didn't wake up, no doors opened or closed, and nothing else triggered the camera again for the rest of the night. But the worst part? I knew for a fact the doors were locked, deadbolted, chained. I always double-checked before going to bed, and I live alone. I tried to talk myself out of it. It had to be a glitch, a lens flare, maybe a reflection. I rewound the footage over and over. The figure wasn't clear. The cam's night vision blurred the features, but I could see they were tall, slender, barefoot. I didn't sleep that night. I kept the lights on and sat on the floor in front of June's room with a baseball bat and my phone in my hand, ready to dial 911. Nothing happened. But when I checked the hallway light switch in the morning, it was off. I always leave it on for June's nightmares. The next day, I upgraded my security system, installed cameras on the front and back doors, put a camera in the living room too, just to be safe. I called the cops and showed them the footage. The officer squinted at the screen. Could be old footage overlapping the new feed. Happens sometimes with these cheaper cams. I told him the date and timestamp matched. He gave me a non-committal shrug and told me to keep my doors locked. Maybe you sleepwalked, he added. Happens to more people than you'd think. But I don't sleepwalk. And I'd never wear a white nightgown like the figure on the screen. I couldn't shake the unease. That night I stayed up, all night, sat with coffee in hand, eyes glued to the monitor app. June slept peacefully, her chubby cheeks rising and falling, the hallway beyond her door empty. 2 a.m., 2:15, 2:30. At 2:38, the feed flickered again, just for a second, and then there they were. Same figure, same slow, gliding walk past her door. Only this time, they turned to face the camera. I felt the blood drain from my body. There were no eyes, just 2 sunken sockets. A stretched smile, too wide for a human mouth. Then without warning, the camera cut out. I ran upstairs, heart hammering, burst into June's room. Empty, quiet. She was still asleep, safe in her crib, but the hallway smelled like roses, faint but unmistakable. There are no roses in my house. I took June and stayed with my sister for the weekend. I told her I thought I saw someone on the cameras, left out the details, didn't want to sound insane. You need sleep, she said. You've been stressed since you moved in. New house, single mom, it's probably just paranoia. I wanted to believe her, but I also knew something had been inside my house. When I got home Sunday night, everything was as I left it, except for the nursery. There was a single rose petal on the floor beside the crib. I called a priest on Monday, not because I was religious, because I was desperate. He came with a calm, knowing demeanor, walked room to room, whispering words I didn't understand, sprinkling holy water. When he got to the nursery, he paused. He stared at the closet door. Has she said anything strange lately? He asked. I frowned. She's 2. Everything she says is strange. Like what? She sometimes talks to the wall or sings to her stuffed animals, calls one of them Lady in White, but I figured it was just toddler stuff. He didn't smile. I've seen this before, he said softly. Not often, but it happens. What happens? He hesitated. Something attaches itself to a house, or a child. Something that wants to be seen. I shivered. What do I do? He gave me a card. I can't promise anything, but if it comes back, don't talk to it. Don't engage. Pretend it isn't there. What if that doesn't work? Then you leave. I checked the cameras every night. Sometimes I'd catch a flicker, a shape just out of frame, never long enough to prove anything, always long enough to make me question my sanity. June started waking up, crying, pointing to the corners of the room. She's hiding, she said one night. She doesn't like you. Who's hiding, baby? The lady with the big mouth. My blood ran cold. At 3:04 a.m., 2 weeks later, the nanny cam turned itself on. No motion detected. It recorded 3 seconds. Someone was already in the nursery, standing beside the crib. June was asleep. The figure leaned down, so close I thought they might kiss her forehead. Then it turned and stared directly into the camera, and smiled. The same wide, unnatural mouth, the empty eye sockets. Only now it looked clearer, more defined, like it was becoming realer. When I checked the front and back door, feeds nothing, no entry, no exit. It never came in, because it never left. I packed a bag, grabbed June, got in the car. We drove. I didn't know where, just away. We ended up at a motel 20 miles out. Cheap, ugly carpet, no cameras. I held her all night and watched the door. She slept peacefully, and for the first time in weeks, nothing happened. I went back the next afternoon to grab some things. The house was quiet, normal, But when I went into the nursery, the camera light was blinking. I hadn't turned it on. I picked it up, checked the app. One new video, 2:38 a.m. I hit play. It showed me standing in June's room, holding her, rocking her, except I hadn't been there. I was miles away. I watched in horror as I laid her down, brushed her hair, then turned to the camera with that same too-wide grin and whispered, "She's mine now." I dropped the camera. It shattered on the floor. I ran. I haven't been back since. It's been 3 months. We're in a new place now. New city, new locks, no cameras. June is smiling again, talking to real people, sleeping through the night, but sometime. I catch her humming the tune she used to sing in her crib, the one she said the lady in white taught her, and last week she asked me why there were mirrors in all the corners of this house. There aren't. Not anymore, but I wonder if that thing ever needed doors to begin with.